Alright, this video is about Chandler's game plan to fulfill his hoop dreams. So, if you follow energy efficient basketball at all, you see Chandler in a lot of the videos, mixes and training and such, and he's the main guy I'm working with right now. And he's got modest hoop dreams. He wants to see the world, and he thinks maybe basketball can be his ticket. Not just for him, he wants to take his girlfriend as well. Is this realistic or not? Who knows? This is just what he wants to do. And let's try to get him there. Okay. So, a little background on Chandler. Chandler played high school basketball, but kind of irrelevant program, and he didn't do too much, I guess. He was injured most of the time. And then still loved basketball and trained his 4 years in college, which are coming to an end this quarter. And then what? Well, he's about 6'1", 180 or something like that. That's his real stats, like barefoot, right? So if you were to measure him out as an NBA shooting guard or whatever, he would maybe be 6'2" or 6'3" and 190, which is not horrible stats. Pretty small for the position he likes to play. Pretty good for a point guard if he played that, but his size is good. His size is good. Okay, as for his skills, I mean, you've been seeing all summer, he's getting more athletic, he's jumping higher. I really see his decision making improve. His skills are improving. He's just getting better, basically. He's getting a lot better. So what's the next step for him? How can he take basketball overseas? What does he have to do? Well, we've been discussing a few options for him. So, a couple things that are important are getting good tape, basically, video of himself. The stuff that we have is good, but we want guys in uniforms versus guys in uniforms. It could be a men's league. It could be a pro exposure camp, which is definitely a route that I think you should consider, or it could be college or community college or something like that. So there's a lot of options. So here's one thing he could do. I think easily, if he trains for this next year, easily he could come on. If he got accepted into some master's program, walk on to some Division I school. He probably wouldn't see a minute of play, but he could walk onto that school. I'm not even sure if it would accelerate his training. Probably would, and it would allow him to get in contact with players who are going to go overseas, who can vouch for him or whatever. I have this guy, he's a Division I player, he didn't get into games, but that probably good enough. So I think that's a route. If he's not in a year of training, I'm sure he could do that. He could go lower to a lower level of school, but I mean, you got to dream big, aim big, I think. That would be one option. The issue with that is he's 22. If he gets a master's program or whatever, 2 to 4 years, I don't know how it works. 4 years, 26, he's coming out. He's old, man. That's a long time. That's a long time. I think we can get him good enough within a couple years. So that's not the most appealing option, but it's a solid way to get there. Another issue with that is if he goes and gets this master's program or whatever, and even if he practices with the team for 4 years, he still doesn't have any game tape to show for it. And game tape is pretty relevant in how coaches are going to be picking players. So that's an okay route. Another route, I mean, he could go walk on a community college team pretty easily. And that would be fine. I think that would be faster, as he'd be able to get game tape easier from that, because he'd actually get playing time. So that's something he could do. Another good option, I think, is going to pro exposure camps next summer. If we train until next summer, and I'd be willing to go to a few with him and be fun, see what they're like. Pro exposure camps are these camps that are put on in the summer where people will pay, it's like $150 entry, and they're kind of across the U.S., and you can play in them, and they split you up into teams, and they put you in uniforms, and they record, basically. And people do this just to get game tape. So if we did that and he gets good tape, he can take that, get some kind of small-time agent, get in touch with teams over there and say, here's Chandler's tape. He's hitting threes and making good decisions and getting dunks over people and stuff like that. and it's in uniform against big players. So that would be a route, although, I mean, it's still a problem with, like, okay, what's his basketball background? Well, he didn't play for a program, right? So maybe the approach is a combination of things. It's unclear how hard he's going to be screened for not being part of a program. I think there's a combination. I think a mix holds a good video holds more weight, but both's probably pretty important. So I mean, those are kind of the things. I think if Chandler keeps training, he keeps having fun, he doesn't get burnt out, the level of his ability is going to be there to play for some small time pro team who probably won't make him rich but can pay for him to live and travel a little bit playing basketball. It's not a question of whether he'll be good enough, and then it's just he needs probably tape. Well, he definitely needs good tape, and probably needs some kind of program, but not necessarily. So my recommendation is, and I mean, this is your own life, you can do whatever you want. I mean, you talked about going to a community college or whatever and playing. You could do that and just play for 1 year and get good tape from that, and we could go to exposure camps as well. I don't know, I mean, these are just the thoughts that we've had talking about it. So for any of you guys who are watching, if you have any words of encouragement or help, or just want to say go after it, or you notice that he's improved, leave a comment. Anything helps right now, whether it's just positive energy. And I mean, if Chandler gets to live his hoop dreams, sky's the limit for everyone, because he's just a super unlikely guy, you know? He was an injured high school player who trained himself up and played professionally overseas or whatever. That's a great story, really epic story. So hopefully we can make that happen for him, and at the very least, he'll live and he'll get a lot better at basketball and meet a lot of interesting people and have fun. So that's I think Chandler's route, and if you guys have any feedback, we would love to hear it.